Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to yet another edition of Gridiron Weekly. We have a very exciting night tonight. We have William. We're going to call him William Mute Akins tonight. We might have to mute him a couple times. The hay fever is getting to him like it's getting the rest of us, but it just rained here, so maybe that erased some of the pollen for Billy. We'll see. But he's good. He's a gamer. He's a gamer, folks. He is here. He's got his game face on. Might be touched with a tissue every once in a while, but he's here. Look at him.
Miserable.
Of course,
I hate Mother Nature. She sucks.
Of course, we're joined by the Buffalo deep range shooter. Everybody's talking about it. Even today, the game was that legendary.
Yeah.
We welcome John. John, how are you, sir?
I'm good. Thank you.
All right.
Very good.
So, ladies and gentlemen, and sports fans around the world, I know we're number one in many college campuses. We're going to try to keep that up for you. UVA Wise really loves us. Doesn't matter that it's just my niece that watches. That doesn't matter. We're still number one. So, we're going tonight is our last preview of the divisions in football. And then next Tuesday, tune in because there will be a mock draft. There will be 32 players taken by William and John. We will alternate it. We'll try to get some of the comments in, but we'll alternate it. We're going to go as quickly as we can go, and we're going to get all 32 picks in much faster than the NFL could ever hope for. But without further ado, we need no more ado. We're going to start off with the AFC West. So I'm going to do a little bit different than I did last week. I'm going to give you where they are, where they were, how they finished, and then we'll figure that at the end of at the bottom of the hour for the AFC. So Denver was number 1, 14-3. The Chargers, number 2, 11-6. Kansas City, number 3 at 6-11. And the Raiders were number 4 at 3-14. Now, I figure we'll go in inverse order because the other teams don't pick, and Denver doesn't have a number 1, so that'd be terrible for them. We'll go in inverse order, and we'll figure out what they're going to do. All right, we're going to start with, I'm going to flip a coin. Billy, what do you say?
Heads.
Heads wins. Billy, we're going to start off with the Las Vegas Raiders. Now, they have the number 1 overall pick in the draft, ladies and gentlemen. And they did some good stuff on defense, but I'm going to let Billy talk. Billy's going to give us a little bit about their offseason, give us a little bit about their prospects and what they're going to do with that coveted number 1. Billy, take us away, buddy.
Well, I mean, their needs are quarterback, obviously, wide receiver, interior defensive line, but let's start with quarterback. You signed a veteran in Kirk Cousins to come over. We know that they're expected to take Fernando Mendoza. That's pretty much a given. I'd say that's pretty much a done deal at this point in time. I think it's going to be a good thing having Kirk Cousins there to mentor him. I think he'll probably be a mentor. I wouldn't see why he wouldn't. But I mean, Mendoza. Hey, let's make no bones about it. The likely number 1 pick for them, he's deserving. I mean, no doubt about it. No doubt about it at all. He's got toughness. He's got all the intangibles, but I don't know. It's that organization has been a train wreck in recent years. I mean, I don't know. I mean, now that Brady's part of the ownership, maybe he was there last year. I mean, it's just he's got too many things he's got going on. He needs to really focus, I think, on one thing at a time here. He's got too many irons in the fire. But no, I mean, like I said, they're going to need, number 1 pick is going to be Fernando Mendoza. I don't see them taking anybody else. A wide receiver, I don't know. I mean, maybe they would go with some guy like Carnell Tate. Maybe they could. Probably not going to be able to get him. He's probably not going to be available to them in the other round or So I don't know. I mean, like I said, it's going to be Fernando Mendoza, and that's just that. So, and how about this? There's rumors about Brady saying he wants to come back for. It's just I think it's BS. I think there's nothing to it, but saying that he wants to be this part owner player type thing. It's just there's no. I think people saw him play in that in that big football tournament, or just not even football. It's flag. I don't even call it football. It's they saw him play in that tournament, and I think they think that he can maybe still play. So they're trying to drum this up, but I think it's a bunch of BS. So.
Oh, awesome. All right, John, jump in there, brother.
What do you think about a comparable for Mendoza? What would you guys? I have one. Is there anything you could think of? Anybody that you'd compare him to?
Brad Johnson.
Oh,
that's
okay.
harsh, Billy.
Yeah, that's tough. Yeah, that's tough.
That's harsh. Billy, that is harsh.
Oh,
You know
bad catch.
I have one, and mine's a combination. It's
Okay.
as if Jared Goff and Trevor Lawrence produced a child. I think the offspring would be Francisco Mendoza. Kind of similar traits in each one of them, but not close to either one of them. What was yours, John?
I thought on the very high end, Matt Ryan, maybe.
Yeah, I can see that.
Maybe very high end, like that's
Matt Ryan was pretty damn good at Boston College. So
I'm saying high end, like that would make that'd be great if he was that. I think great. I mean, better than I would expect because I'm not. I don't know. I'm not. We'll see. I mean, how many guys are so good in college and don't do nothing in the pro? We know that, but now the guy. I mean, I know he ran. He didn't do much offense like they play in the NFL, right? A lot of RPO type stuff,
right?
And things. I don't. There's part of me that would love to see the. They got to make the pick because here's the problem. If you're the GM, right, and you don't take the quarterback, you're getting fired. Do you know what I mean? But if you take the quarterback and he fails, you might not get fired. Do you see what I'm saying? But if you take him, if you don't take him and he's good, you're definitely getting it. You'll be fired the next year.
Let's go with that real quick, John. So let's say don't take him and the Jets take him. Does he succeed in New York?
Oh, I know. Yeah,
that's the thing. Does he succeed in New York? I don't think so.
Yeah, no.
Do you think he's going to succeed in Vegas? Because I mean, I don't look at that franchise as being this storied franchise.
No.
I mean,
but I mean,
and like I said, Brady doesn't focus on what needs to be focused there. He shouldn't even, I don't know. Like it's just not even
right.
I mean, they're a train wreck of an organization. They really are. I mean, they are.
Mm-hmm.
I don't.
Given the first two picks, though, Billy, where would he succeed?
I think he would have better chance of succeeding in Vegas than he would in New York.
Billy,
because
Billy, let's go a little bit.
I mean, that's like the lesser of the two. I mean, it's comparing the lesser of the two evils. Yeah.
Great question, John. Let's go a little bit further. So the top three teams, we can agree, Vegas, New York, and Arizona all need quarterbacks. So LaFleur is in Arizona. New York has Aaron Glenn. He will not succeed in New York, period. That's my opinion. I don't know what your opinions are. But I think
he's been terrible. I mean, he was a great defensive coordinator. He's been terrible head coach.
Right. So I think that out of those first three, I think it might be a tie between Arizona and Las Vegas where he succeeds.
Yeah.
Because you got Kubiak in Vegas, he won a Super Bowl with a person nobody wanted, from the Jets, Sam Darnold. So then go ahead.
No, finish your point.
No, I'm just saying. And then you have a McVay tree in Arizona. So given those, I think I would say it was a tie between Arizona and Arizona's got a better wideout. They have a good tight end. They have a decent running game. They got Paris, what's his name, that blocks out the sun from Ohio State as a tackle. Yeah. They got a decent defense. I think they're kind of comparable teams. I think it would be a tie for me where he succeeds.
Yeah. I mean, the Raiders tried, right? They got a center.
Yeah.
They got things. They made effort to try to do things around them. Good thing Kirk Cousins is there, like Bill said.
Yeah.
I still don't have a problem with that. I know I heard someone on the radio. I can't remember, guys, where it was, so I can't give the credit to this person. But they were getting angry about why would you ever want someone to sit behind another quarterback? It's 2026. Let him play. He needs to play. And I kind of disagree. I don't have a problem with him sitting behind someone who's. I don't want him sitting behind Justin Fields, but if he's sitting behind a guy like Cousins or something, cool. Yeah. I think that's good.
I mean, do we think he's going to start? I mean, if in fact they do take him, do we think he's going to start right away?
I don't.
I don't think he will either. No, I don't think he will. I think Kirk Cousins is going to be the guy next year, and I think he's going to be, he's going to be there with the clipboard observing as he should. Listen, I mean, hey, the jury's still out on. I mean, flip a coin. Basically, flip a coin whether this guy's going to. I mean, yeah, okay. So he was on a very good team in Indiana. a team that wasn't expected to win a national championship. I didn't think at least,
No.
right? I mean, did we pick them to win the national championship last year? No, we did not.
We had Ohio State.
Right. So, I tell you one thing, he's not much of a scrambler.
No.
He's accurate. He's got good pocket presence. He can slide gaps. That's what you need. If you're not a scrambler, you got to be able to stand in the pocket in this day and age and slide the gap, right? And he can do that. He can do that. But he's not a scrambler. He is accurate. When he has time, he is accurate. But so are a lot of other quarterbacks. A lot of other quarterbacks had better intangibles and didn't pan out. So, it's just it's like I said, it's a flip of a coin.
So we have our buddy from across the pond, Michael, says, "Howdy, guys. Hope you're all good. We're very good. Thanks for asking, Michael. Can't wait for some over the pond.
Mike.
He's going to go to I believe Michael's going to go to the college games. But yeah, John. So what do you think? Mendoza or bust or what?
Yeah, it's going to be Mendoza. Like I said, it's that thing where if you pass on that guy and he becomes good, you're done, right? That's it. If you draft him and it doesn't work out, sometimes you still survive because it happens a lot. So it's a 50-50. You know what I mean? It can happen.
But in Minnesota, he did not survive, right?
No, as he should. Yeah.
Right. All right. Stay right there, John, because you're going to take us in through the world of one of the hardballs. The Los Angeles Chargers finished 11-6. Well, I think I know what they need, but what do you think they need?
Well, what?
I mean, we have to say that it helps that they're getting back 2 Pro Bowl caliber linemen on the left and on the right. That's huge.
Yeah, because without them, we saw what happened without them. I mean, just really went right downhill. You're going to I would assume that we're looking for defensive help. That's me. I'm an edge rusher is where I'm at. If they're there. What are the Chargers picking? I don't even know off the top of your head.
22.
Right after the Steelers.
Yeah, so that's how I don't know what's going to be there. Now you almost wonder, is it best available for a team for the Chargers at that point? Maybe because you're at 22. So I don't know what would be there.
Bless you. So I'm looking at 3 mocks simultaneously, and they've got Parker from Clemson, who's good. They got Cassius Howe from Texas A&M, and they got Caleb Banks. So they're projected to all be there at that 22nd pick. So it's good for you, John. I don't know. I think Brian Billick said it. If you draft for need, you're done. You'll never succeed in the NFL if you're continually drafting for need. So I think your first point is spot on, man. Best available.
Yeah, that was what my thought was on the Chargers. I don't know. What did they do? They got themselves a center, right? Didn't they get the guy from Washington, wherever he came from? So they got a center. So that's helpful. Their offensive line, when they're healthy, when those guys are back, it's like a fortress. I mean, it's perfect. It's nice. You got them ready. You should be able to protect Herbert.
Yep.
And what do they have for running? Why don't I know? What am I thinking running backs for them?
They took that. They have Hassan Haskins. They've got
who was the other?
They got the guy from North Carolina, Omar.
Okay.
Yeah.
Amari, what's his name? Amari Hampton.
Amari Hampton. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think you took him in the first round last year. So I think they're good, especially with my Leeds United. Beat my United yesterday. And Daniel Perry. Happy Tuesday. But yeah, go ahead, John. So yeah.
And that's what I'm going to go best available. And what would best available be? What did you say? So what is it? What is the best available?
There's going to be a plethora of defensive linemen. They have TJ Parker out of Clemson, Cassius Howell, edge out of Texas A&M, and 2 edges, and then a tackle in Caleb Banks out of Florida.
And that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing if I'm them.
Yep. All right, Billy. Step in there, brother.
Well, Chargers need interior offensive line. 80 guard. They did get a center, but they could use a tackle. They probably could use another center, to be honest with you, because the guy they got has injury issues.
Be honest, he's 28 years old, but once those 2 tackles back, I mean they're all pro.
Yeah, I mean you got to protect Justin Herbert.
Yep.
Defensive tackles too. They need some defensive tackles as well. So I would look if I was them. Maybe even an edge rusher, maybe that Akeem Mesidor.
Yeah, he'll be there.
He'll probably be there. When it comes to offensive tackles, what about a Blake Miller from Clemson? So even that Spencer Fano from Utah.
Utah, yeah.
So, and I said about what about the guy from Penn State?
He won't be.
He probably not going to be, but I mean,
Right.
if maybe they could even do a trade up because they need a guard. That's probably one of their biggest needs. They need a guard.
Vega, yeah.
Yeah.
He's not going to be there. But they could always re-sign Mekhi Becton. They released him after 1 year because he was hurt. But if he's healthy, they could always re-sign him.
Yeah.
But I mean, you can never go wrong taking on the line. You got one chose defensive line, one chose offensive line. Never go wrong with those picks ever.
Yeah.
Their highest hit rates are line, which is good. All right, Billy, stay right there, Billy. Up next, we have the Kansas City Chiefs with Patrick Mahomes coming off an ACL. They have 2 picks in their first round, Billy. They pick 9th and 29th. What do you make of what they're going to do? Well,
they need a true number 1 wideout. That I do know. They need some depth at pass rusher. So I don't know. Maybe they could use a couple corners too.
Yeah.
I thought maybe even like the guy from LSU. What's his name? Mansour. Even him. Looking at him. How about it? Maybe Reuben Bain Jr. would be there in Miami for an edge rusher.
Yep.
Yeah.
He would play. He'd pair him with Chris Jones. Maybe takes a little pressure off Chris Jones. I don't know. I mean, do you think maybe Lemon would be there for them to take? I mean,
I'd say it's a very slim chance.
Yeah,
that he's there.
I mean, he's he's likely to be a slot guy, I would say. But I wouldn't rule him out as a true number 1. So
yeah, that's interesting. And the Chargers, they have. I forgot to ask you this, John. Their 5th-year option is their number 1 target wide receiver, Quentin Johnson. You think they pick it up, John?
Oh God. Oh man. Yeah. I'm picking it up. Yes. Yeah,
Billy,
I pick up the option.
Billy, you picking it up?
Yeah, I'm picking
the
it
1
up.
year. Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Denver didn't have an option to pick. They didn't have a first rounder to pick, so we're good with them. All right, William, stay. Well, you just did the Chiefs. All right, John, here we go, buddy. Our next team in the division is the Las Vegas Raiders. Or not the Raiders. What did I screw that up again?
Broncos.
Broncos.
Yeah, geez, sorry. Denver Broncos. They had a good offseason this year. They got a nice defensive back, right? Even though they gave up their first round pick. They don't pick into the second round. So what do you make of them off season, and what do you think they're going to do? The second round, they picked very late in the second round. So,
well, I mean, they did. What did they do? They got Jalen Waddle, so that's good they got the wide receiver help. I don't know about J.K. Dobbins. I mean, of course, he gets hurt a lot, so you don't know how that's going to go for them. They pick in the second round again. I mean, what's their needs?
They also got a defensive back from Kansas City. That's why they gave up their 29th pick.
Yeah. Yes.
So
and you're almost going back here. I'm going to say it again. Best available. I don't know. I'm probably getting more offensive help maybe for Knicks.
I can
like
see
that. I'm probably staying on the offensive side of the ball with this one, and maybe there's a tight end possibly that you like in the second round. So that would be good. More help to Knicks would be what I would be doing in any way so I'd be best available offensive player for me.
Okay, Billy.
All right, so they need a tight end. They need a linebacker. Okay, you don't have a first round pick because you did that trade with Jalen Waddle, so you're picking at 62. I think in that range you could probably get John. This guy, the guy from Ohio State, Max Clare. I think you could probably get him. He's a pretty solid tight end. I think he would fit right in with that offense. And a linebacker, I would look at Jacob Rodriguez from Texas Tech. He's probably going to be there too. So he's probably going to be there.
Well. Yeah.
So
and that's the second round pick, man. Every second round, he's like. Do you ever know people like him a lot? Rodriguez, a real lot.
Yeah, but I think in the playoffs, I think his opposite, his cohort outshined him. He had the 2 picks in that, you know.
Hmm.
I think he did better. I mean, maybe Rodriguez ate up all the blocks and the the stunts and stuff to allow him to be free, but that linebacker was way better in that bowl game. It was interesting. So you think best available, Billy? What'd you say? You think the linebacker out of Rodriguez? Anybody? You think they go offense at all?
I said a tight end. I said Max Clare.
Max Clare. I like that because they don't really. Who's their tight end now? Do they really have a showcase tight end?
No, right? No, they don't have any. I don't even know. I can't even think of who it is.
Yeah,
and their O line's pretty decent. Their D line is okay.
They could use some D line too. They could use they could use some defensive linemen for sure.
Yeah, that'll work.
So,
all right, John, you're going to start us off. Give me the order they finish in this upcoming season.
Oh man!
And just a reminder: Denver, LA, Kansas City, Las Vegas.
Geez.
John, what's your take on Mahomes? It was a later season ACL tear, so
he's saying he's ready. He'll be back for week 1. I looked it up. He says he says at least he'll be there week 1.
Wow.
So I'm gonna I'll believe him. And I did. You know what? I'm gonna say Denver. I don't even know. I'm really stumped on Denver. I'm not sure. I'm not gonna do them. I'm gonna say. I'm gonna give it to the Chargers. I'm gonna let the Chargers win this division this time. Finally, everyone stays healthy. They win the division. Close division, good division. Denver 2, Kansas City 3, but very close. And then the Raiders bring up the rear.
Raiders do any better than 3 wins?
Maybe 4, 5.
I mean, they had Quay Walker on defense, Nolan Smith on defense.
I'll give them 5. Right, 5.
All right, but you give it to the Chargers this year. If they can keep freaking 10 upright, who knows what they can do? But they've never been able to do that. And when they did do that, their defense, what's his name, killed their defense.
Yeah, we were talking about tight ends for the Broncos. Adam Troutman, he's a UFA as well.
Oh,
so
okay.
That's all they got.
That's all they got.
All right, Billy, you're up. What's our finish, sir?
I'm gonna go Denver. I'm going to go Chargers. I'm going to go Chiefs, and then I'm going to go Raiders.
We're going to leave it. So I'm just going to give you a real quick, Billy, and then we'll hit John. Billy, Denver, 14. They go up or down? Up or down?
You know what? I think they go up. Actually, I think 15.
Okay, John. Oh, sorry, Bill. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I'm gonna go under. I'm gonna go under it. Maybe they go 12.
Okay. John, Chargers 11 plus 2 plus. They have to be at least plus 2.
Yeah, I picked them, so I'll God. Yeah, okay. I'm saying it reluctantly. Yeah,
Billy, Chargers.
Maybe they'll be 12.
I think 12.
Okay. Billy, Chiefs.
I'm gonna say 8.
8.
Yeah.
John, Chiefs.
I'm gonna give them. I'm gonna go with 10.
Ooh. So John gave 5 to the Raiders. Billy, Raiders?
4.
Wow, you guys are tough graders, man. Thank God I'm not submitting my papers to you. Wow. All right, well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. We think Mendoza. One more question about Mendoza. Billy, does he do his traits and his abilities transfer to the NFL?
I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think so. Maybe I'll be wrong. I mean, it's happened before, but I got to
right.
Huh?
You would definitely sit him. You would not.
I would definitely sit him. I would not play him. No. And I think that's why they got Kirk Cousins. To be honest with you, I think they know they know it's a throwaway season this year. They're not expecting anything. And they want this kid to learn how to be a quarterback, which is the right thing to do. If that in fact is their objective, which I would think that would be, just judging on what they've done in the offseason. So.
John, does it translate to the NFL?
No, I'm kind of like Bill. I've said it. I said it on here with you guys a couple of times. I would maybe see if I could trade out of there, get a bunch of picks. Maybe someone wants them. If I'm the Raiders, I wouldn't have a problem getting a little boatload of picks and maybe a player if someone likes them. Maybe some down. I don't know. I don't know. The thing is, next year's a better draft for this. I don't.
I agree with that.
I don't know if I want to do this. This is a tough spot for the Raiders because
you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't.
But I'm gonna be. I would see, and I'd get fired because I would trade and I would try. I would not take them, and then I'd regret it and be gone. But I'm not crazy.
Our buddy from across the pond says Chargers, Denver, Raiders, Chiefs. He believes it's the end of the Chiefs kingdom.
Yeah, I think it was the end last year. I think it's the end last year, and I was shocked that Kelsey's going to come back.
Yeah.
So,
you don't trust a healthy Mahomes? You're going to wait for
No, I don't. I don't think he's going to be. I don't think he's going to be. I don't think he's going to be healthy. I don't believe 1 second that they think he's going to be ready. I mean, I think maybe in his mind he thinks he's going to be ready. I don't think he's going to be ready.
So, what do you make of the reclamation project that's going on right now with Justin Fields in Kansas City?
I think it sucks. Plain and simple. I just think that there's nothing. Yeah, I just don't think that they're. I said 8 games, and that's actually I was originally going to say 7. I was thinking 7 and 10, but for just what giggles, I thought 8 and 9. But
wow,
I agree with Mike. I just think it's an end of the Chiefs. Their time is gone. It's over.
The window has closed, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah,
closed.
I mean, I think.
Excellent job as always. Now we're going to move so seamlessly. We're going to go and talk about the NFC West. Real brief on the NFC West. Obviously, it produced the Super Bowl winner and it sent 3 teams to the playoffs, which is probably one of the better divisions in football. Seattle finished at 14-3, followed closely by the Rams at 12-5, the Niners at 12-5. Bringing up the rear was the Arizona Cardinals at 3-14 because they, of course, are the Cardinals. So who knows what they do? No one knows what they do. So we started with Billy last time. We're going to start with John. We're going to talk about these Cardinals, right? So they pick number 3 overall. What do you make of what they did in the offseason? Any signings, any losses? They pick 3 overall. Go ahead, John.
Offseason, I think they had a good offseason because they finally moved on from Kyler Murray. I think that was they had to, I think that was just a good thing. That was an addition by the subtraction type stuff. Right. And you get to move on there. Other than that, it's kind of uneventful. I didn't see much, that they did really. I mean, not much in my opinion. I didn't see for an offseason. Thought it was kind of quiet other than the Kyler Murray thing. And with this 3rd pick, I think I'm going to go with Arvell Reese here would be what I would take. I think I need someone like him who's going to be a supposed, a freak of nature type. Give somebody, because what the Cardinals, what they kind of need? They're boring. They're so boring. Try and watch a game from there. It's like going to church. It reminds me of Mass. It's really tough. And it's because it's so boring. And it really is. You don't hear the crowd. It's like it just doesn't.
That's a great point. You really don't hear the crowd there. Why is that?
I don't know. It's mute. It's just terrible.
Yeah.
But I'm taking Reese because I want some kind of flashes. I want all kinds of things like that. And I think he's one of those guys. He's a flashy player. I think he's a good player. He's got all that freak of nature type stuff. And then I think somewhere down the road they're taking Ty Simpson. I just don't know when or where, but I think they do.
Well, yeah, they need a quarterback. All right, William, you're up, sir.
Well, the Cardinals, they got to bolster their front 7 because it sucks, and they got to look at linebackers. And they got to try to find pass rushing talent somehow, some way. And you probably need to add a dynamic wide receiver to complement your weapons you got with Marvin Harrison Jr. And but yeah, I mean, I would if I was them, I would look at I tell you who I would definitely go after if I was them. I would try to go after David Bailey. I think that would be the one guy that they could probably definitely get him where they're picking. I think he's a top pass rusher, high level pressure, good stats. He's probably going to go early, and why not take him in the first round if you're Arizona?
Right. So I forgot to ask you, John. We'll go with their 5th-year option. The 5th-year option for them is Paris Johnson. Do they pick it up, John? He started every game. Yeah, Billy.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the website that I'm on for people who want to go on. It's fantasypros.com. It takes a amalgamation or a combination of all the mock drafts, right? And it spits out percentages. So take it for what it is. It's just the computer doing the work for us. They have the Cardinals 50% chance to take the offensive tackle out of Miami and Moaga. Where is it? 37% chance to take David Bailey, and a 12% chance to take Sonny Styles. Yes, it doesn't add to 100 because there's other players in there, but you have Paris Johnson there. You pick up his fifth year option. You had another guy who blocks out the sun. Now you're blocking out the sun on either end. And I know they don't really have. Who do they have? Gardner Minshew, maybe. Yeah. I think he's
the backups.
Well, he might be the starter because there's nobody else there.
Yeah, Keaton Slovis, I think, was with them too, wasn't he?
I'm man from Pitt. Yeah. Via Utah.
Yeah.
There's so
Jacoby Brissett's not there anymore.
Where'd Jacoby go? Oh yeah, he is. Yeah, of course he is.
Jacoby's still there?
Yeah, so Jacoby will probably be the starter, backed up by Minshew.
And he's one of them too.
Yeah, followed up by Slovis. But I think if you put
Minshew.
Yeah.
Minshew was with Kansas City, brother.
No, he went to Arizona. He's out of Kansas City because they picked him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. In the offseason he went there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
But
I didn't know he went to Arizona.
I'm probably taking the tackles just to have them both there, because he's with the Cardinals, Billy Minshew.
Okay.
Because
missed that one. I'm sorry.
Like, do you guys have any faith in Jacoby Brissett? He's not terribly mobile, but if you're blocking up both of the ends, and he can throw from the pocket, right? So I don't know. I'm leaning toward. They do need help on defense, but I'm leaning more toward I would lean more toward the tackle, because then I have bookend tackles for 10 years,
right.
and he's going to be there. And they have a pretty high pick, and those are the highest hit rate. So, all right, John, you start us off with the Cardinals. Billy, you're up next. We're going to talk about the 12-5. I can't believe they were 12-5. So injured, San Francisco 49ers. I think they just had another injury. So go ahead, Billy.
Well, they they've had a rough year last year. I think they need once again pass rushing depth. They need somebody behind. Hold on.
He's little pause here, ladies and gentlemen. Gonna get that.
They're gonna need some pass rushing. There's how about maybe even on offensive tackle? I think they probably need. I would look at maybe Caden Proctor would be somebody I'd look at, and maybe he's going to be there out of Alabama. Maybe he will, maybe he won't. I don't know. I don't know. That's.
Let's see who they pick. Hold on, sir.
27, right?
27, yeah. So yeah, Bill, you're right. I'm just keep going. Sorry, sir.
Proctor's a good one there.
Yeah, that's who I would go with. I know, that would be who I would pick if I was them, because they need a little bit of offensive tackle help there.
Yeah, they can only run so far with Williams.
Right.
He's getting up there in age. So they can only run so far. But you think they're good on – they signed Christian Kirk. They signed what's his name from Tampa. So I think they're set at wide receiver. And you had Ricky Purcell to that. So
yeah.
Yeah. Again, though, funny with Evans, right? You take him, and we just talked about injuries, and that guy is a step, just a couple steps away from tearing something.
Right. At his age, too, which is interesting. John, what are your thoughts on the Niners?
Why am I forget? Who was their running back? Do we remember? I
McCaffrey.
McCaffrey.
That's it. McCaffrey's still there. Right. McCaffrey's there. And he's good. And he's fine. Okay. So I don't know why he slipped my mind. That's pretty bad. But I got to go with. I liked Proctor. I like.
It's like saying, who was that guy in the '90s that was really good for the Bulls?
Yeah, right.
Who was that guy in the '80s, in the mid '80s, and in the '90s? It was really good for the Bulls. What was his name?
Yeah, I know. I couldn't think.
I think his name was 20. He had 20. He wore 23. I think he wore 23.
I didn't want to describe him the way I almost did. But yeah, no, I think the offensive line's a good one. I was going to say wide receiver, but you must think you're good because you took Evans and you know he's hurt, but you don't care. So no on the wide receiver there. I'm probably going to go with I'm going to say Proctor. Great pick. I think he'll be there, I would assume.
So the draft thing I'm on has a 50-50 chance, 50% chance to take Utah offensive tackle Caleb Lomu, which would be fine, and the other 50%, Casey Concepcion, wide receiver, Texas A&M University, TAMU. So that's just for what it's worth. That's just the computer compiling all the mock drafts that it's had.
Yeah,
so, interesting.
You can put that. You can take that with a grain of salt.
You can print it and use it for toilet paper.
Right.
But that just as the computer says. I mean, I tend to agree with you guys. I'm going offensive line. I just am. If I get an offensive line that holds up, my man can dissect anybody 30 yards and under. Purdy can 30 yards and under. Purdy will kill you. He just will. He's that good. And with the healthy, it helped McCaffrey that he took a year off, though, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he had an entire freaking year off, which helped a lot. So I think they'll be fine going the offensive line route. All right, William, talk to us about the Los Angeles Rams. Let me see if they got they do have a fifth-year option, but they're not going to pick it up. Their fifth-year option, they might have two. Their one fifth-year option is Emmanuel Forbes, defensive back out of Mississippi State. I don't think they picked that up.
No, probably not. I think the Rams need offensive line. They need offensive tackle. That's critical for you got to maximize Matthew Stafford's window because it's small, so you got to make sure he's upright. And then I would go secondary. I would go, safety corner, tight end potentially. That's what I would go 13th. Huh?
They pick a 13th.
Yeah. I would look at that guy you just said, Caleb Lomu from offensive tackle out of Utah. I would look at him. That's who I would try to get first. He's athletic, Yeah. I think he could bolster that line. I don't know. Maybe even a wide out. Maybe Mekhi Lemon if he was there. I don't know. Maybe. I mean, he would probably fit all right in the Rams. Maybe.
Oh yeah.
So.
Yeah. So they're at 13. I made a mistake, folks. The defensive back from Kansas City went to the Los Angeles Rams. Yeah. So not the Denver Broncos. They gave away their pick for Jalen Waddle. So yeah, Billy, you haven't taken a lineman. I think that's a great idea. They don't have a lot of young linemen, so I like that pick. John, jump in there, buddy. And do you think they're picking up Forbes option?
No, no. And I like the offensive line always, but I'd love to see Sadiq. I like the tight end. That'd be something to see him at the Rams. I'd like that might be interesting. You give him a safety net there in a big tight end, but the offensive tackle is where I probably go. Because think about it, this draft is a tough one because there's not enough quarterbacks going. So now teams that are, you know what I mean, a team that has a quarterback, you used to be able to sit back and keep taking quarterbacks, everyone, because I'll keep on taking linemen. Well, they're going to go off the board pretty fast. So I'm guessing they take a tackle, whomever the best one is at the time, because there'll be at 13. How many will have already gone? Cardinals, would you say?
Including this mock thingy dingy, they have, let's see, 1, 2. They have 2 gone already, and they have actually 60-40 split. Spencer Fano, the other tackle from Utah, going to the Rams with 60% chance, and Jordan Tyson, the wideout, ASU. So they'll probably have the opportunity to take a tackle or the best guard in the draft, Olavaviega Ione out of Penn State. So they'll have a pretty good shot.
Let me ask you this: do you think the Rams might even they're picking 13, correct?
Yes, sir.
You think they would even take a shot at Ty Simpson if he's there?
Ooh, intriguing.
I mean,
they do
Matthew Stafford's 38,
right? Yeah, but don't forget they still have Stetson Bennett, the 16th, behind him. So,
well, they could probably, maybe they get him in the second round. Do you think Simpson? Possibly.
I don't think he's going to be there.
I don't think
he's take him. You think?
I think it starts with Miami at the 30th pick overall. because they have two. Yeah, I think anywhere from Miami. Those last 3 picks, somebody's either going to trade up or Miami's going to take them.
Yeah,
Miami's
I don't think he's not going to be there.
Miami's in an actual, not even hyperbole. They're in an actual dumpster fire.
Yeah.
So I think, just my opinion, it would be Miami, and then whoever wants to trade in the 31st.
My God,
pick,
they'll kill him. What a shame if he goes to Miami.
Yeah,
Career over.
He's got nothing there too. That's another thing.
They'll murder him. Yeah.
But at least he doesn't have to pay state taxes.
That's yes, yeah.
That's probably the only.
Well, I mean, Miami's going to be good at some point. They've just completely cleaned house. They're trying to rebuild, So,
yeah, and I think once they did it the right way. They just pulled the Band-Aid all the way off.
Yeah, and that's how you got to do it, really.
Yeah,
So
yeah, so next year they're going to have more money and it's going to get better for them.
Right. So I don't think it's that much. This year's going to be a disaster. I agree, but I think it's going to get better for that franchise.
Who's their quarterback right now? That they're going to run on?
Malik Willis. Yeah.
Okay, so that would mean Simpson comes and sits behind him because he can't. You don't want him to play. Obviously, he'll get murdered.
No, you don't want Ty Simpson to play.
Yeah, you don't want him playing. Now, if they're smart though, maybe they wait for next year because they're going to be so bad this year that they're going to have such a high pick.
Right.
That you grab the supposed better.
Maybe you get Arch to the beach.
That'd be nice, yeah. But yeah, Ty Simpson's got to go. I just wonder. It is interesting because I do think Arizona takes him, but they don't. You can't take him at number 3.
No,
that'd be insane. Maybe, yeah. I'm curious where he goes. Very curious on him, Simpson. That is.
Yeah, I mean he's for whatever reason he's climbing the draft boards rapidly.
Yeah.
I mean, rapidly. So he's a fascinating pick. I think.
Well, he's not bad. I mean, aside from the Tennessee and Missouri game, he's pretty good.
Yeah.
Kyle Davis said, "Who said Ty Simpson is going to Miami?"
Kyle, I forgot Kyle. Sorry, Kyle. We got. I think it's the end of the. Yep. Michael also says they need another Simeon Rice. Yeah, no kidding. Do they need to take the load off of CMC? Yes, they do.
Yeah.
Very good points. Yeah, so they could do that. And Kyle, sorry, man. We were just kind of speculating, man. That's what we do. Not wishing harm on you, sir.
I said I think the Rams might take a shot at him, man.
I think they're going to go either wide out or they're going to do something with Matthew Stafford. They don't care about next year's quarterback. They got a quarterback whisperer, man.
Maybe Mekhi Lemon. Maybe that's where he goes.
Maybe he does not a far commute for him, right?
No, not at all.
He doesn't have to move.
They've seen him. They've seen enough of him where he's in their backyard.
Yeah. All right. Let's go with who's up next for the Seattle Seahawks? Is it John or is it Bill?
Yeah, me.
Sean.
All right. Let's go, buddy. Talk to us about the defending NFL champions who lost a lot in free agency, by the way.
Yeah.
But go ahead. Talk to us.
Yeah, they did. And losing Kenneth Walker, that's tough because the other guy doesn't stay healthy. Charbonnet, whatever. Kenneth Walker doesn't either, but neither of them did. But so I think you do need a running back somewhere here. Maybe this is the time at 32. The guy from Notre Dame, the other guy.
Yes, I like that pick.
So maybe him. I would probably take him. Other than that, I mean, what else? They could always use some more probably edge rusher and. Man, I mean, they lost Kobe Bryant, but maybe they just need, safety. But I'm going to go with the running back because I do think they need help. They need to run. They got Darnold. I still think you need to run there, and they need somebody because Charbonnet won't make it probably.
Not the whole season.
Yeah,
and I didn't talk about their 5th-year option because they already signed him. JSN obviously signed a massive deal.
Yeah,
and they also they had 2 that year, and Devin Witherspoon. Obviously, they're going to pick up. There's no doubt about that. Because the guy is that good. I think they lost Reek Willen. They lost Kobe Bryant. They lost their starting running back. Not that he was fantastic, but in his system, he was in their system, he's very good. Once Charbonnet went down, he took the full load. So, John, maybe they do that. I think you're right. Billy, what are your thoughts, William?
Well, I agree with John. They need a running back after losing Walker. Charbonnet can't stay healthy. Maybe an edge rusher as well. That's what I would look at with them. So,
Across their defensive line, they had 7 sacks each for every starter. So that's pretty well distributed, I would say.
yeah.
Now, are any of these people? Do you think they take offers to jump out of that first round to build for next year, build draft capital for next year?
Possibly, yeah.
I mean, because go ahead, John.
I think teams are going to trade up. You know.
Yeah.
So I think there's going to be some trading.
From what I keep hearing on the radio is how much Arizona likes Simpson, and they want to get. They just can't take him at 3. So I'm looking for them to maybe they trade into the first round if they have to somehow.
Yeah.
To get them, but there's just a lot of. I mean, so many of these, like I was saying a little bit earlier, so many edges, so many offensive tackles, so many of those positions are going to go quicker because there's no quarterback. So it's going to be interesting to see.
Right, and then you're right. Somebody's going to take somebody that starts to run on a certain position, whether that's defensive tackle, offensive tackle, or wide receiver. Once the first one goes, it's going to be a rush for them because it happens every year.
Yeah, no, I agree, and that's probably going to right. Those are probably the 3 positions that would happen in.
Yeah,
would be there.
It's deep in the first round. All right, we're going to start with William. William, how do they finish this year? Again, it was Seattle, Los Angeles Rams, San Francisco 49ers, and Arizona.
I'm going to go Rams, Niners, Seahawks, and Cardinals.
Billy, do 3 make it from that division to the playoffs?
Yes.
Wow. John, you're up, sir.
I'm going to say I'm going to also go with the Rams, and then the 49ers, Seahawks, just like Bill, and the Cardinals.
3 teams make it?
It'll be tight. I think because there's other divisions that'll give them a hard time. But yeah, they'll probably end up in the end getting 3 again.
I like it. All right, Billy, Seattle. They're at 14. How many did they go down?
I'm going to say 11.
Okay. John,
Yep.
That's -3. What do you think?
That was that was exactly what I was thinking, 11.
John, Rams, they were 12, up 2, up 1.
I'll give them correct. I'll give them 2.
Okay. Billy?
2.
What were they last year? 12, right?
Yeah.
13. I'll give them 1.
All right, Billy, Niners, they were 12 last year. What do you give them?
I'm going to give them
a push? Leave them at 12?
I'm going to leave them at 12, yeah.
John?
Yeah, I'll leave them there too. I'll go 12.
All right, the most important team in the division. John, what do the Cardinals finish at next year? They were at 3.
I don't see how that. Yeah, they're going to be. It'll be maybe they're lucky to go to 4. I mean, I don't know. They want to lose. I mean, we can see the teams that want to lose with Miami, Arizona. We know what they're doing. They better not get too. You don't want to go too high above 5. So right. I'm going to give them 3 for the Cardinals.
Cute, Billy.
5.
He gives them a solid. Listen, that's hardcore analysis right there. He doesn't even hesitate. 5. Cinco if you're Spanish. That's what he does. Miami will take pick 32. Seattle should
Achan.
Take Achan.
Yeah.
Ooh, Kyle. I don't know. I don't know if I'd give up Devon Achan. Well, maybe.
Let me ask you this: Would you if you were Seattle, would you possibly trade up to try to get Jeremiah Love?
Too much draft capital. You got to get to 4.
Okay.
If I could try it, I would love to have him for sure.
I just think it'd be too much draft capital going from 32 to 4. I mean, that's a lot.
I mean, Kenneth Walker. They're going to have to replace him if they have any, qualms about getting back to where they, close to where they were.
I like John's pick if they stay pat Jadarian Price out of Notre Dame.
Yeah,
I mean, he's another good back. He's not as big as Walker. Walker was just a big dude. You know, I mean, he was a big.
But they had a good running game. I mean, when Charbonnet was healthy and both of those guys were healthy, and they split time up, that took a lot of pressure off Sam Darnold.
Yeah. And it's so funny because they were trying to diminish that year or two, trying to diminish the running back, but they realized you have if you're first of all, if you have a good duo, you're set, and if you have you're set.
Everybody wants to diminish the running back until playoffs come.
Right.
And
Right.
until playoffs come and you're playing in shitty weather, everybody wants to diminish the running game until like I said, until the playoffs come. Then you lean on the freaking running game. Figure that one out.
And I think Kansas City did well in getting him. I mean, it's probably the best running back they've had in the time with Mahomes, right? I can't think of any. Pacheco. Yeah. So I mean, it's not bad. That was good for the Chiefs. That should help them. But the Seahawks.
I think on offense, are they going to be disciplined enough to run the ball?
Right. Yeah.
With that toy Mahomes,
No, they're not. That's the problem. They're not. They're going to continue to do what they have always done, and it doesn't work anymore because the guys are old. So it's not going to work. No.
It's so funny though. It's come all the way around again. Back to look at it. I was listening to Mel Kiper today. He was on what's the one with Bob Papa, airing it out. He was on that, and he said, I think every half the league would be better if they had Jeremiah Love on their team, at least half the league. And he's right. He's probably the best player in the draft according to Kiper.
Well, I don't believe that. I tell you who I think is the best. I think Sadiq's the best overall athlete in my opinion.
Really,
Sadiq. Yeah.
Why
you don't think so?
I think it's by far Jeremiah Love, because if he was a wide receiver, he'd be one of the best wide receivers in the draft. And in fact, if Sadiq could do some end arounds as a tight end, I'd be right with you. He's in my top 5, but I think Jeremiah Love because he can do, and he returned kicks for Notre Dame, so I think he's probably the better one. But it's always just an opinion, Everybody's got one. Go ahead, John.
I'm going to go with Arvell Reese. I think that's the most. I think he's very. Talk about with athletic. I mean, he's probably to me he's most of the entire draft. I think, and as far as that goes, but I take him number 1. No, but I would take him in the top 5.
Oh yeah.
So
that's
mine.
Yeah, it's worth it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to give you a little preview of next week. We are going to do an NFL draft. There are no trades. I say again, no trades because we only have an hour. We're going to do an NFL draft next week, a nice mock draft. We're going to go alternate between the two of them. Probably not too much, analysis because we got to get through them pretty quickly. Given that we only have 60 minutes, about 2 minutes a pick, a little less than 2 minutes a pick. But no trades. We're going to alternate it, and I'm going to flip a coin. John, your turn.
Heads.
Heads it was. All right, John starts us off, and we'll be rocking and rolling next week. It'll be amazing. Make sure you bring your pencil and pad, and make sure you grade William and John after. Give them an honest grade. We'll put it in the comments. It'll be great. It'll be a very interesting show, and I can't wait to see how they stand up to the experts. And we'll give you the scoring system, right? It's 3 points if they hit the exact player. 3 points, right? We'll give them 2 points if they hit the exact same. So if they hit the exact same position. So if they say the Cardinals are going offensive line, they go offensive line, they get 2 points, right? Even if it's a different offensive lineman. And if they get the right side of the ball, obvious one, right? If they say they're going Arvell Reese to the Jets, and the Jets go David Bailey, or I'm sorry, they go some other position on defense, right? Other than defensive tackle, they're going to get 1 point. So it's going to be 3-2-1. And obviously if they fail, they fail. They'll get 0. But I think it'll be great. We'll have a blast. And I cannot wait to see what they come up with next week on the show. Don't be late. 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time next Tuesday, 2 days before the actual draft. Great show, gentlemen, and lights out buttons.